Afternoon all. How are we all doing? Happy Monday. Afternoon, Mumo, Peter, Marco, Paul. How are we doing? Danny, Chris? All good. It is Monday afternoon. We have got Trump about to talk. So, yeah, be an interesting one. We're waiting for the Associated Press. Trump is holding a press conference with the health secretary, apparently. So we're waiting to see what happens here. I've just got this. I've just pressed the play button on this. Just turn my volume up just so I can hear when it starts. Obviously, this morning we've had all the news about the China tariffs being removed again. So US goods to 10% from 125% for 90 days. So basically, he's just done exactly the same he did with everybody else. Now he's just gone, hang on, let's hold on for 90 days because this ain't working. So rollback. So basically back to where we were before tariffs were even introduced, except there's 10% more on the US. But that's about it. So that hit this morning. Obviously, the markets this morning went absolutely nuts. ADR dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm quite surprised, actually, that it's reversing. So there's a mean reversion going on at the moment on it. A lot faster than I was anticipating. I was expecting a continuation push on this. The dollar has pushed a little bit more, as you can see, but not absolutely blindingly fast. So it's holding. So this is the initial news we had this morning that the tariffs are just going to be dumped for 90 days anyway. Since then, the market's just kind of gone, what was that? I.e., we've undone everything we've done for the last God knows how long. So we've got this pause underway at the moment. So I'm kind of expecting when the New York market opens to get some kind of directional bias on this today. Stock indices in the US obviously all went parabolic on the news this morning. We got an ADR of movement in 5-10 minutes. Since then, it's been quite stable. So I'm going to trade the open and see how big these initial 5-minute ranges go in at. Big at the moment. So there's going to be trades triggered on all of them. I'm a little cautious about getting into everything today because, as you can see, all the indices are pretty much aligned at the moment. They're all in confluence. So the Dow is a little bit more out of sync than the S&P and the NASDAQ. So I think there is an argument for trading the Dow and the S&P or the NASDAQ this afternoon. But I'm not convinced about trading all of them. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just turn off the NASDAQ this afternoon, and I'm just going to trade the S&P and the Dow. Just don't want to overexpose, basically, in case whatever Trump is going to say causes some hideous whipsawing. I don't want to get whipsawed on all three. I'd rather get whipsawed on two. But we'll see what happens. So I'll wait for these initial ranges to go in. It looks like we're going to get a trade triggered on everything today. So far, we got 20 seconds left on the initial 5-minute ranges. S&P is dropping a little bit faster than the Dow at the minute, as you can see. So we just wait for this 5-minute candle to go in. Afternoon, James. Afternoon, David. Fasten your seatbelts. Trump is speaking. Is he off? Is he speaking now? Let's have a quick look. Not speaking at the minute. Let me just refresh this. No, he's getting ready. So we're getting ready for him to come. Oh, he's got a chart and everything, look. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll come back to that. Let me just press the play button. I can listen out, basically, for whatever's going to happen. Okay, so first 5-minute. Right, couldn't get that one on. Okay, so on the S&P, there's no trade taken on the 5-minute range. That's because the candle closed. There's this rule in the EA that I programmed in to stop issues with very, very fast movements at the open. So as this candle closed right on the low, the EA does not take a trade. I want to be some wick at the lows or the highs to make sure that we can get that pending order on quickly. This is mainly for people with slow execution brokers. Otherwise, what happens is the market can push away from you, and then you get triggered on a pullback on a limit order in effect, and the market just goes straight up and stops you out. So the market has to have pulled back from the low to get a trade on. So there's no trade on the S&P on the 5 minute. Dow, there is a trade though. So short on the Dow, looks like it's going to stop straight out. I get a feeling we might be whippy until Trump speaks, but see. Where are you? I hate it with these live streams. You can never actually tell if it's actually working or not. Oh, camera moved. It's definitely working. I think the camera was just checking. Have I frozen? Is he coming? Okay, let's play a little game. Which door is Trump going to emerge from? Put your answers in the chat now. Left or right? Oh, hello. The guy was listening to me. Yeah, I know. It's good, isn't it? I'm going to go for the left door. What do I know? I've never seen this view before. This is a new one for me. But I'm assuming he's going to be signing stuff here, and they'll want him closest to the door for a quick exit in case someone tries to shoot him. That's my logic. Anyway, I've got to watch this now, haven't I? I can't not watch it now because I'm not going to know which door he's coming in on. Soul Trader, he's going for a trapdoor. I'm expecting him to fall out the ceiling. Let's see if that happens. From heaven, yeah. Ghost is going for the right door. Forex from the left door. Mumo from the right door. This is a bit of a middling consensus. I'd expect roughly a 50-50 split. Sydney is it's going to be either left or right. I'll go with the middle. He will ascend from heaven. Don't we wish? Right, okay, well, he's not actually coming in, is he? So I'm sure there'll be some... I'm just going to turn my volume up a little bit more just so I can hear something happening when he does come in. Okay, so, yeah, stopped out straight away on the Dow. So, yeah, I think might be a bit whippy until he comes out. I don't think the market's going to want to make a move yet, is it? So, going to reset on the 10-minute candle. So a new pending order will go in at the lows, slightly increased risk because of stopped out. So we'll see if we can get a trade off on the 10-minute range. The S&P is trying to break down, not really very successfully at the moment. So obviously this move that we had on the initial news, they re-added after that initial volume went in. I'm never convinced when you get a move this big as to whether there's actually going to be orders sitting there to add to, but the Dow did roughly the same. So we will see. We'll see what happens. So let's whiz over to FX and have a look at that while we're waiting for all of this to happen. So this morning, obviously we had loads and loads of ADRs. Obviously the market just basically went parabolic on the dollar. So we're undoing basically the move that we had put in on the Trump tariffs. So we're obviously going back to where it all started, i.e. what a waste of 3 weeks. Anyway, so yeah, put the tariffs on, remove the tariffs. What have we got? 10%. Brilliant. All of that for 10%. And obviously getting people to the negotiating table, but really getting 10%. So there's a very high probability, I think, that we're just going to return to the origin of the move. So all of the US dollar pairs, which we had starting today with these moves, I think there's a good chance we'll get a continuation on them. So this morning in the live room, we were watching this, and I decided to take a pound US dollar short. We basically broke down below the range, the short-term range. So I basically took a short expecting us to either come and test this propulsion gap, which is the accumulation break here, or to come back down to the origin of the move. So it's pulling back nicely at the moment. So it's still in profit. But obviously, I would expect them to add more size in here. Now, this is going to be reliant on Trump not saying anything stupid and undoing this tariff reduction or tariff freeze. But if he does rally this afternoon, obviously, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be seeing 200 ADRs and the US pushing this further. Obviously, stock indices rallying as well this afternoon, but we'll wait and see what he says, if anything, to do with the tariffs, because he's got the health minister with him, the health secretary. So I'm not quite sure. This is, I presume, all related to the drugs. So he said this morning that he's looking to drop the drug prices by 58% or something. There we go. Drug prices to be cut by 59%. Seems pretty accurate, but so I'm assuming that this press conference is going to be to do with that. Let me just refresh. Sure. So he may not mention any other China tariffs, which means that this move this afternoon may not continue, but we'll wait and see what he says. So all the ADRs today were mean reversion opportunities, Euro CAD, things like that, for example. If you took them, they've all kind of played out. So the first reversals on them, if you look on the 5-minute time frame, were back here. Yep, around about 175 ADR on the Euro CAD. So this big, strong push down, the first reversal alert was there. Actually, sorry, it was there. So you would have got in long on that. Then it's come down and put in a second low. So there's your W pattern reversal. So if you were in on the very first reversal alert, your entry's somewhere around here. If you're in on the second one, it's somewhere there. So they're all in profit at the moment. But you are really swimming against the tide with these. So I kind of said this morning, not really interested in taking any of these today, because you just are potentially trying to get on a mean reversion trade ahead of a steamroller. If you look at what we did when we did all of these previously, this type of movement is the start of something like that potentially. So you're getting in and trying to mean revert something that's potentially got 2 to 3 times more distance to go yet. But we have undone most of the other tariffs apart from China. So this might be the actual end of the move. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? But there's loads of ADR reversal opportunities this morning. But I don't like taking ADRs at the best of times. And off the back of news, definitely not. So not the greatest opportunities around today, but they are all sort of working out. So if you have taken them, you're in them, you're probably in profit on them, or not far off a break even on them. But, if Trump comes out bullish this afternoon, it's going nowhere but that, is it? So just be very, very careful trying to mean revert these. Same with your RSI extensions. Obviously, US dollar yen was the biggest RSI extension we had put in. There were none this morning. We were completely flat apart from the pound yen. And now they're all really, really massively extended. So again, 4-hour RSI extensions in to the upside. But there's a reason for this. The US dollar is rallying crazily off the back of this news. So trying to mean revert these. There's beautiful divergence on this. Look. No, it's not. Sorry. What am I talking about? It's not divergence at all. There's divergence there, but just be careful trying to mean revert these. This is potentially the start of a week-long maybe move on the dollar. I don't know how the market's going to take it, so we'll see. The question we asked ourselves this morning was, is the US still going to have any loyalty, or is anybody going to have any faith in the dollar? Now they've completely screwed most of the world with tariffs. Yeah, so the rest of the world is now turning around and going, we thought you were our friends. You're not anymore. Are they going to come flocking back and want lovely trade deals or not? If not, then there's no reason to do that, is there? There's also no reason to do that at the moment because Powell is not dropping interest rates. So there is a lot of reason to go sideways. He's coming, is he? Which door? Which door? Oh, look, we've got more graphics going up. The Golden Dome for America. Has Elon Musk created a force field or something? We'll see. Um, he thinks what to tweet first. Yeah, and have to call all his mates. Here we go. Here comes some security. No, we don't want the we don't want that one there. Let's put it over there. Okay. Fun, isn't it? The presser is about Medicare. Don't know if that will do a lot. No. Might do. Definitely right door. James is going right door. Come out of one of the doors, for God's sake. Oh, look, there's a chart. This is a chart as well. Can I have a closer look at the chart? Nice chart. Take a picture of me next to the chart. Can everybody see the chart? Bless her. Make sure your chart's in the right place. Nothing's happening, is it? Okay, so we've got the pending order back in place. Broken short on the S&P. So 10-minute range trade on the S&P, short. Is there any point in having a partial close there today? Surely we're either going to mean revert it or we're not. I'm going all the way down there. That one I might leave in place just in case, because it is a slightly different chart, obviously. But if that does break short, I'm going for the fill today. I'm suspecting we're probably going to break long though. Left door bearish, right door bullish. Could do. No door. Come on, Trump. I think someone's cranking the handle in his back, trying to get him working again. This is like pulling teeth. It's always like this with press conferences. He'll come out and he won't say anything for ages anyway that's any of interest, and then we'll move. Right. So we'll just wait and see what happens with these, basically. So all the FX pairs, there's no point in me going through them. I went through all pairs this morning in the live room. So if you want to have a look at all the pairs analysis, it's all in the live room from this morning. But there's not really a lot I can say at the moment about anything from a technical perspective, because this morning was all about this move and are we going to continue it or are we going to reverse it? Technical analysis goes out the window when something like this happens, because it's going to be either a strong reversal or it's not. And there's nothing you can do to forecast what's going to happen from here. So it's either going to come up and go for those propulsion targets and come back to the origin of the move, basically, or it's not. And if it is going to go all the way back up here, it's a question of whether we're going to go parabolic and run it for 2 or 3 days, or whether we're just going to go nice and orderly. So, you know, until he says something, confirms something, there's not really a lot we can do from an analysis perspective. Oh, there's lots of people coming in the right door. This is a bar. Right door. I was wrong. Right, so Henricas. Right door bullish. Bullish for the dollar or bullish for the indices? Bullish for both? Tremendous. He's taking credit for brokering a ceasefire between Pakistan and India. Nothing to do with him. Right. I'm just going to turn the volume on him down. So just going to monitor. I'm going to actually put it up over here. So I'm just going to monitor the news on that monitor over there. And we will see what effect he has. So don't expect any movement on this at the moment, because the market's going to be sitting around waiting for him to say something that is actually going to drive the market. So if he says nothing, when he finishes speaking, we'll probably just take off in whatever direction they need to execute the orders today. If he says something impactive, which is bullish, we're going to take off upside. If he says something bearish, we're going to take off downside. So just a case of waiting at the moment. So at the minute, I'd quite like him to be a little bit bearish. And then when we get down to there, for him to become bullish. But anyway, that's my personal preference, just because I'm short on that at the moment. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Either way, we should get a break, but we're not going to get it until he stops talking. So we'll wait and see. So as I was going back to the FX side of things, I say there's loads of RSI extensions at the moment, but you're unlikely, there's some divergence. You're unlikely to really be able to use any of these extensions at the moment because they're news-based. So obviously when you're looking at any kind of system or strategy that uses indicators, if the indicator's triggering because of a news event, it's not the indicator. It's not saying we've had a strong move in that direction on relative strength. It's saying there's been a parabolic news event, which is completely out of the blue. So it's not normal market movement, which we would usually try and utilize to do mean reversion. So just be a little careful with them all at the moment. Unfortunately, when you're doing system back testing and things, you can't take things like this into account most of the time. So at the moment, downside targets, you've got these areas here for shorts, but obviously we'll wait and see what he says this afternoon and go from there. At the moment, I've got exposure on the Aussie New Zealand shorts. I got a beautiful entry. I took this morning in the live room. That was my entry right there at the very high of the day. Talk about laser sights. That's where I go in. So short up there. I've got 3 positions on this already. So that's number 4 gone in. So perfect entry up there. That was the monthly level. I said I just wanted to get in because I want to make sure that the average between these two is not too far apart. So yeah, shorts on that at the moment. If we get back down to ADR today, I'll take that one off and bank it, and I'll do some drawdown control on that position. I've already done one drawdown control on that one with the profit I made on that position, which I've added back on again. So it's just a case of working it in and out, waiting for things to happen. US is ready to help India and Pakistan with trade. Trade is a big reason they stopped fighting. It's got nothing to do with trade. They haven't stopped fighting because of trade. What planet is he on? What stupid thing to say. They stopped fighting because of trade. That's because you want to talk about trade, isn't it? It's not because they haven't stopped fighting because of trade. We achieved a total reset with China. You mean you dropped all the tariffs that you put in place because they didn't work? Because China turned around and went, we're not coming to the negotiating table. So you had no choice but to drop the tariffs you put in place. That's what you mean by that comment, isn't it? Oh, talk about spin. It's just he is the master of spin. He's had a tan again, isn't he, as well? Come back to that in a minute. Stopped out on the S&P. So I will take a 30-minute on the S&P. Really not going to be able to do much with this today. I kind of like this not to trigger for the next 10 or 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So reset is going to go in after this candle closes in 4.5 minutes. And then I'll be taking a break of the 30-minute range, whichever way that decides to go. If he hasn't triggered a short before that, which would be really annoying. Anyway. So short on Aussie New Zealand at the moment. Swiss yen, I've got shorts on at the moment. That's only first entry taken. Obviously, that was working out nicely, and I was playing it off of this high. Just looking for it to come back down into propulsion. But obviously with what's happened today, there's been some more movement out of the Japanese yen, which has strengthened everything against the yen. So second entry on this one is going to go in just above ADR at the monthly high. So that's last month's high. That's next entry there. So if we attempt to get out above next month's high, second short will be going in on that one. I've also got euro pound, which obviously not a lot I can do with that. That's moved this morning as well. So that's coming down quite nicely. That's broken out of the lows. So origin is either going to be the breakout propulsion gap, which is my next entry. So that's entry 3 will go in at propulsion, or it's going to come down and test the monthly low, which is the previous week's low there, and that propulsion gap there. So I've got 2 more positions planned on that. So that would be in 4 total to pull back on that leg when it gets there. So just waiting for that to build up at the moment. And pound US dollar, which I took this morning. So that's all the positions I've got on. Obviously, that's just pulling back. So he's either going to ruin that by being bearish, or he's going to carry on being bullish, and that's going to drop nicely. But again, it's just a single position. I took off the Euro Swiss this morning. So I did post this one in Discord. So that was the entry there, which I took on that double bottom, and got out in propulsion this morning. Which was nice. It did push up a little bit further into last week's high, and then obviously came crashing back down again. So the Swiss franc and the yen still seem to have some safe haven currency in there. So there is a little bit of movement happening on those. Trump spoke to China agreement doesn't include pharma. Trump spoke to Tim Cook this morning. He will build a lot in the US. Tim Cook. I will speak to Z at the end of the week, maybe. So he might speak to China at the end of the week. Might. So a lot of nonsense at the moment, but we'll see. Best part of the deal is China agreeing to open up. Opening up China will take a while to paper. So nothing really interesting there at the minute he's coming out with. Right, so got 1.5 minutes left on this candle. So going to reset that one. Obviously, we've got no breaks so far here after the initial stop out. Market very cautious. Look at this. This movement is so slow. No one's putting any volume in at the minute, are they? Too scared. Just talking about people being released from prison or something. So it's nothing exciting going on at all there. We'll see what happens. We'll watch this for another couple of minutes. If you've got any FX pairs you want to look at, let me know. Afternoon, Brian. Morning, afternoon, evening, good night, whatever it is. Okay, 6-bar range actually is not going to be tradable because it's too big. So there won't be a trade taken on the S&P. It's only just too big as well. It's like 5 points over, but it is 5 points over than the rules. So that is 40% of ADR there, just over. So still got the trade on the Dow running. If you've taken the NASDAQ, so on the NASDAQ, you would have been short on that initial range, which was 12. Yeah, so you'd be short on the NASDAQ from here. and that's just pulled back. Depending on your stop loss, 47. So that's 20%, less than 20%. So you should still be in that if you're short. Sod's law, innit? That's the only one that's worked so far today, and it's the only one I didn't take. Anyway, yeah, looking for breaks to the downside at the moment. Market does not look like it wants to be bullish at all at present. It's just not going anywhere, is it? China to suspend non-monetary barriers. Nothing happening, is there? Dead. Pound yen RSI extension. We got quite a few RSI extensions just triggered there. So pound yen on the hourly. Okay, so pound yen 1 hour RSI still extended there. We're just coming up to that monthly high now on the pound yen. So that's a good looking short opportunity there. You've got a double monthly high coming up. So that's last month's high and the previous month's high. So that was that rejection there. Pound yen 125 ADR just hit. So that's looking good for potential short, potentially very exhausted today. 125 ADR plus 4 hour and hourly RSI extensions. So shorting that, obviously initial trade on some kind of market reversal alert or any kind of 3-bar reversal or any kind of rejection pattern up at this high. If that fails, you're looking at coming up to this area here, which is somewhere around 2 ADR away. So you've got one entry here. If that fails, second and third entries up to there. Fourth entry up to that last high. If it's got all the way up to that high without any kind of pullback that you can exit on, you're going to get a very nice correction on that. Yeah. So not a bad entry spot on that one. A few other extensions as well. Obviously, we've looked at the other, the US dollar yen. US dollar Swiss is also extended. 4 hours to the upside. Again, there's a lot of rejection here. Half an ADR of rejection for the last 8 hours. Market really not that interested, is it, in pushing higher? That's it. Aussie dollar yen also extended as well. 4 hour. So again, looking for some kind of retracement on this leg. So pushing back into this double weekly high maybe. You've got a gap fill available on this as well. So plenty of room to the downside and nicely extended. So lots of opportunities here, but obviously just bear in mind you're fighting against this dollar at the moment. We don't know what he's going to do with it. So just not going anywhere, is it? China has agreed to stop fentanyl. There's a big incentive for China to stop. He's going to take China at their word. China will be rewarded on tariffs for fentanyl action. So basically, he's kind of saying, stop the drugs and we'll do a deal. Whether they can stop the drugs, I don't know. He needs to do a deal with the Yakuza, doesn't he? Indecision with these tariffs, still higher than before. I believe the trade-weighted tariff was 2% on China and 1.5% on the US pre-liberation date. Yeah, I mean, these 10% tariffs are not going away. It's 10% worldwide. So basically what he's done is he's put 10% tariffs on worldwide, and he's kicked a load of extra tariffs onto Canada, to Mexico, other places. China, obviously 100 and something stupid percent. And then he went, actually, for 90 days, we'll just remove all that. And we'll just leave the China ones on. And then 2 weeks later, he's gone, actually, let's get rid of the China ones as well. So basically, all he's done is he's put the tariffs up by 10%. If he'd have said that we're going to put 10% tariffs worldwide on everybody, flat rate, none of this would have happened. But that's not what he said. So his goal, I think, with all of this was to fire a load of shots and get everybody to the table and talk. What he's actually done is fire a load of shots and scared everyone away, because Europe and the UK, for a start, are now talking to China. We're not interested in the US. You've just screwed us. Off you go. Bye. That's basically the way that we're looking at it. And Europe, obviously, have still not made much of a decision as what they're going to do now. He's finding it very difficult to get Europe round the table at the moment, quite rightly so, because basically he's tried to destroy the European economy. So it's like having a hostile takeover in business and then going, all right, I'll have a soft takeover. Should we talk about it? They're not going to turn around and say, yeah, don't worry about being forceful and aggressive with us. Let's talk about it. Not interested. That is what the world is currently doing. And this is the situation that he's stuck in. So dropping these tariffs back now, he's trying to get more people to the table. May work, may not. He's a very good businessman, but this is the world we're talking about. It's not a business. He's viewing it as one, but I will no longer tolerate profiteering from big pharma. Tough. Most of it's in the UK, mate. You're going to have to. Sorry about that, but we make stuff. If it wasn't for us, you'd all be dead of COVID. Anyway, and then they come back and say, if it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking German. Why can't we all just get along and everybody just share everything? That'd be the much nicer way to do it, wouldn't it? Anyway, so I don't think we're going to get a move off this. Not an aggressive one anyway. It will probably break, but I don't think we're going to get an aggressive move today, unfortunately. Seems, unless he's going to get any questions which are suddenly going to upset the apple cart, I'm not convinced we're actually going to get a big move off of this. So the main news, which was obviously the China agreement, I think he's already covered basically the nuts and bolts of it, which means we're kind of stuck, aren't we, I think? China will be rewarded on tariffs, fentanyl, Iraq to reduce crude oil exports. That's fine. No longer tolerate profiteering from big pharma. Yeah, nothing new coming out. There we go. Right. So basically today, I'm not taking any new positions. This morning, I was trying to get into a load of new trades. I wanted to get some more risk on the table because it's slow, as you can see, at the moment this month. I took the pound US, but I can't really get into anything else at the moment with all this news going on because it's impossible to pick a direction on anything. So there was nothing we looked at this morning that was particularly interesting. Euro yen has just hit ADR. So again, more yen weakness coming in. Everything's pushing against the yen at the moment. But there's nothing much else we can do with this today, really, apart from wait and see what the market's reaction is. So tomorrow, I'll obviously have a look at the FX side of things again. But the positions I've got on, I'm not particularly worried about. Just waiting, really, for the market to make some decisions. As for the indices, yeah, don't care which way it breaks. I just would like it to break in a direction, really. So if we break short, I'll be able to get that back in one, by the time we're down here, I'm back in profit. So just want a break, really. Hopefully we don't get a whipsaw for the entire day. That would obviously be bad, but nothing we can do about it if it does. So that's about it. Not really got anything else to discuss today because it's all about Mr. Trump, and he's kind of upset the apple cart a little bit this morning with what I was planning to do today. So, but you can have a look at this morning's live stream if you want to have a look at the FX pairs because I covered them all there. He is still going on, so there is a potential he might say something, but there you go. The EU was the most difficult on drug subsidies. We are going to be, because this is where all the drugs come from. Trouble is, you can't blackmail people over drugs or try and negotiate tariffs over drugs. If they're manufactured by Smith, Klein, Beecham or whoever or whatever in the UK, that's it. We got the patent on it. If you want it, this is what it costs. There's not really deals to be done on it, is there? Big Pharma don't do deals. They just make lots of money. Obviously, there's a load of drug companies in the US which he could use to negotiate deals with, I guess, but who knows? I have my break-even stop move into position almost immediately. 5 points. Can't risk this crap. No. Keep it tight today. It's gonna. I mean, if you've been trading for the last, half an hour, everyone's dead. Everyone's either in it and waiting, or they're dead. They're just getting chopped to pieces. This is why we use percentage ADR ranges, because if the market's going to do this, you need to be outside of it. If the market's going to go, it's going to go. Just get on it. It's not a problem. But if it's going to be choppy, anything lower than 20% of the average daily range, 15% of the average daily range, you're just going to get chopped to death in this market condition. So better off sitting on our hands and waiting for the days where we can make money. We will slash the cost of prescription drug prices. Could come down from 59 to 80 to 90%. How? How are you going to do that? So if you look at the pharma sector at the moment, there's probably a lot of sector purchases going on in pharma. Although he hasn't actually said how he's going to cut the costs. If it's going to be getting the pharma companies to drop their prices, that's going to drop their stocks. If he's going to take less taxation on it, it's going to pop their stocks. So no actual explanation as to how he's going to drop these rates. But market is looking like it kind of likes what he's saying at the moment. Hopefully with this new Qatar Boeing gift, has a better spray tan booth. It's just bad. I know he's very orange today, isn't he? He's very orange today. That is orange. But why not do those bits? That's his natural skin color, isn't it? Because that's where the goggles go. Or is it jaundice? I don't know. I love watching the comments on these. Go back Africa, Elon. He struggles with reading. Absolute nonsense. Donny Two Dolls. It's more fun watching the comments on these press conferences, watching people argue. It's the Trump supporters and the Trump haters. It's kind of 50-50, isn't it, at the moment? Domino's or Little Caesars? Circus clown. I love the big nasty orange man. They are funny. Morning. Oh no, noob, yeah. I doubt that they will let the demented orange... the demented orangutan ruin everything for too long. Maybe everything will return to normal soon. Yes, hopefully. We can but hope. Afternoon outro. Yeah, we can but hope. Unfair. What a lunatic. President Trump bought his wife from Jeff EP. Jeffrey Epstein, I presume that means. Anyway, he's completely off his rocker. Chinese Commerce Ministry. We held a meeting with foreign trade companies on Monday. All right, so China's commenting at the moment on what Trump is talking about. So it'd be interesting to see if they come out. The EU will have to pay more for healthcare. You don't provide us healthcare. presumably means drugs. That's fine. We make more drugs than you, so you just put your tariffs on us and we'll just put more back. This is the problem with these types of comments and this type of approach. If you're going to say that you're going to put all the Trump drugs, or Trump drugs, the drugs, can't say it now, the drugs coming out of the US to the Europe, if you're going to put those prices up, all that we're going to do in Europe is put our prices up to you. Yeah, you got some drugs that we need. We got drugs that you need. We just seem to have more of them because we do more pharma. It's not going to work. Just not going to work. If you want to make America great again, make America great again. But don't do it by trying to blackmail the rest of the planet. It's not going to happen. Rejecting again up at this level. So short it down into there, potentially. NASDAQ's not managed to go anywhere either. This is a waste of time this afternoon, isn't it? We'll wait and see what happens when he goes. Gas is $1.98 a gallon. Okay. Yeah, look at that. MRI in the USA, $2,500. MRI in Europe, $125. Now, if you need an MRI scan. MRI in the UK, free. We don't pay for it. Ugh. I'm sure there is some method, isn't there, behind all this? There's got to be a plan somewhere, but I'm damned if anybody on the planet has explained it to me or anybody else at all at the moment. Concepts of a plan. Yeah, so you got, get in there. He's just rebranding Obamacare. Don't know much about that. Can't comment on that. 900% up. Oranges. Are they? Anybody in America? Are your oranges 900% up? I presume they are oranges. They look like oranges. Either that or they're orange apples. I don't know. China and US trade discussions created conditions for further bridging differences and deepening cooperation. Ministry statement. Some nations in dire need might be helped under drug policy. China, we will support trade companies to expand market. Just all woolly. There's nothing coming up. All fruit is up, is it? Everything is high here. Fruit, eggs, all of it. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. We know because CPI's gone up. This is the problem we've got at the moment. Powell at the minute is under massive pressure from Trump to drop interest rates. Everything's going the wrong way. If Powell drops interest rates, it's going to go the wrong way faster. He can't drop interest rates. So why is everybody posting oranges? Who are these people? Press dum don un. What? Biden left a mess. That may be, but not exactly a cleaner, is he? I can't get past the spray tan. I would fire the person who said the spray tan looks good. No, I don't think anybody's ever said the spray tan looks good. I just got visions of him in a spray tan booth with no clothes on and a tiny little thong. I can't get it out of my head. Do you think he has to wear one of those hair nets as well, so that he doesn't get his hair orange? Anyway. Well, that's not very appealing, is it? Good one. We don't pay by waiting lists, but waiting lists for months. Yeah, that is true, Peter. We don't pay for our MRI scans, but if you do want one, it is going to be a bit of a wait. And obviously, if you need an MRI scan, quite important you get in now, isn't it? I don't think healthcare works anywhere at the minute, does it? We're all stuffed. Trump made a mess. Somehow everybody has understood how the economy works except for our toddler Trump. Yep. This is the weird thing about it. You know, of all the people you would expect to understand how economics works, he would be the one. But he's come in and he's just got it so unbelievably wrong. I don't know. No one knows. I mean, there's, like I said, from day one in January when he got in, when he started announcing and signing off all the very first orders, there wasn't one person in economics that said it was a good idea, anything he was doing. Not one person on Bloomberg, not one person in a central bank on Wall Street. None of them looked at what he'd done and said, that's a really good idea. It's a good plan. Not one. Yeah. So if everybody, including the head of the Fed, is saying you're doing this wrong, surely as a president, you've got a sort of subcondition in you that says, I've got to go and talk to some people about this because they all seem to, for some reason, have the different opinion to me. But, you know, it's just not happening, is it? But what do you do about it? Yeah, the people pulling the strings behind him are not doing anything different, are they? Where are the Jeffrey Epstein files? Dum Don Un. Dum Don Un. Is that a Kim Jong Un slant? Anyway, right. It wasn't this bad yet. I think there was the thong. I don't think that was the thong. That's tiny. I wouldn't know. I don't want to know. I don't even want to think about it. I'm now boycotting my supermarket, which has never bought anything from me for ages. That is so unfair. We've got the same thing in the UK at the moment. We are not buying anything US. When we go into when I go into the supermarkets where I live at the moment, the shelves are full of US stuff, and not necessarily all brands, but a lot of brands are just not selling. They're still staying on the shelves. And I think that's happening everywhere at the moment. And I think in the US, to a certain extent, that's probably going to happen as well, isn't it? A lot of boycotting going on. Teslas, we're not buying Teslas in Europe either, are we? The chemicals he's using for his hair treatments are, and the sunbed is affecting him. Yeah, probably been affecting him for a while, isn't it? We know that. The comments are great. I know the comments are brilliant. Wait, that's communism, Don. Make Qatar great again. Stop talking so we can dump or pump. There's some traders in here, look. Ha, grr, grumble, rattle, whistle, snort. Oh, he's finished. Right, okay. Trump threatens targeting cars if drug prices won't go down. We will cut out middlemen on drug sales. So if the drugs thing he's just announced doesn't work, he's going to do cars instead. Not helping. So let's have a look at the DAX. Because obviously the DAX is mainly car stocks, motor. So obviously if he's going to target cars, I presume he means foreign car imports, not cars in the US. But obviously the DAX potentially might have a bit of a downside on that. The Dow Jones has some motor stocks as well. Does really not seem to be any movement, does there? Nothing much happening at all. Democrats for Trump. Let's see if RFK tells the truth. Market looking gorgeous? No, not doing anything. Look at Trump's eyes. Look, he keeps looking. You watch. Every time he looks at him, look, watch. Look, checking out his backside. You watch. Look, do it again. Go on. Sneaky little look. Look. Something going on there. Love it. This is what trading has become. Watching Trump. He touched it then. Did you see that? Better not buy Kirkland from Costco then. Don't buy anything from Costco. We don't have Costco, unfortunately. If you value your health, you better off not buying US. Yeah. Not buying. Yeah. If you value your health, I think you're better off moving out of the US, aren't you? Looks like RFK uses the same spray tan booth. Yeah, his is darker though. Oh, I don't know actually. No, now you said that. He hasn't got the glasses thing there, has he? A joint tanning session. Did it again? You look down. Look, he's done it again. There's definitely something going on. Look. He's just seeing. Did he see me do that? Did he see me look at his ass? He's looking at the puppeteer. Maybe that's a fake arm and he is actually the puppeteer. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. But if you could, I'm short on the Dow. Okay, so we got some movement. I'm short Dow. I'm not convinced I want to be short Dow, but I'm short Dow. NASDAQ is testing session lows or about to test session lows. So is the S&P. So market not looking like it's particularly fond of anything that's been said so far, but again, we're not particularly bearish either. Next, someone that doesn't use a spray tan booth. Keep your eyes on, he's moved. So he's doing it again. Is it just me? Am I the only person seeing this? Or is he falling asleep temporarily? Is that what it is? He's just nodding off. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so short Dow. S&P has broken. So depending on your broker, your settings, you may have the 30-minute range trigger there. NASDAQ, you will have broken short as well. So we have got shorts in play across the board. So watch for a mean reversion back to the origin of this morning's move. There's, if we break this low here, for example, we've got clear air in this candlestick. There's nothing to stop it. So potentially we could have a nice trade on our hands this afternoon. The Dow has actually got support before we get there. So there is actually a little bit more support opportunity there, which is around about half an ADR. So we will see. But so far, absolutely no continuation. So these moves that started this morning potentially might be playing back out again. Actually, it doesn't seem to be any movement in the US at all. The dollar's not moving at all, really. Euro US. So ever such a slight bull move in the dollar, but very, very minimal. Can't do anything with it, can we, today? We don't have a Costco near us. No, we don't have Costco in the UK. Tropicana orange juice stuck on the shelf. Yes. Anything that's got California in it, basically, isn't it? NASDAQ retesting the lows. Yeah. Camera. It's the camera preset settings that's responsible for the tan. He's not gone to the tanning bed, though, has he? Stop looking down, Trump. You're really worrying me with that. Move. This is what a sovereign, non-demented leader looks like, who is in his right mind and is to be taken seriously. Correct. This is exactly what you should be having running your country. What the Dr. Oz now I can't take it. Is this doctor? I don't even know who this guy is. I presume he's one of the health guys, I guess. I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to who is sitting in cabinet at all over there. If you tuned in for some FX analysis or anything, you're in the wrong place. This afternoon is a comedy session. Because this is just a joke. What a clown. Teleprompt. Oh, it might be a teleprompt. But why is he reading it? Maybe he's like looking at it thinking, hurry up. I need to go and sit down. I'm really old. Okay, nice breakdown on the Dow. All indices breaking down. So hopefully we'll get a mean reversion on this today. If you got in the NASDAQ, depending on your settings, very difficult to tell, actually. I don't think you will have been stopped out on that. Depending on what you set, 10% of ADR is, what am I working at the moment? 15 on here, I think. 15, yeah. Set that back to live trading now because it won't take one today. So 15 is 55. So we're looking at roughly 4-ish. That was the break. Yeah. So if you took that initial, if you used 10% ADR stop, you probably stopped out on it. Anything above a 10% ADR stop, you will still be in this short. So this is actually a clean break for you this afternoon. So if you did take NASDAQ, you are clean in with roughly 20% of ADR profit at the moment. See if this can go. Morning, Matt. I'm in the UK. It's around the corner. Generally great for bulk buying. We got Costco in the UK, have we? I did not know that. Certainly haven't got one where I am, unfortunately. Dr. Oz is US reality TV doc, is he? Who Oprah made famous. Oh, is he? So they're rolling out a TV doctor. Maybe he's checking out the suit from the back. Yeah, checking other people's tailoring. He does seem to look down there a lot, doesn't he? Something down there he's interested in. If there was a woman up there now, everyone would be going mad about this because it's men. Doesn't matter, does it? London has a few Costco's. It's in their lorries. Oh, didn't know that. I've never seen a Costco. Well, we haven't got any. I live in the south. We haven't got any Costco's down here that I know of, anyway. I'm digging my Kirtland Dad Lee jeans. Lee jeans, yeah. I made a brand of jeans. Very good. About 10 years at least for Costco. Every major town has one dotted around London. Ah, there you go. Just don't get them down here. When I went to the US, I went to the Midwest, to Wisconsin. And I know that we went in Costco over there. Huge. Way bigger than anything we've got over here. He is tall. I still think there is a huge piece of paper on which says that this meeting is about, because otherwise he simply forgets 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, what he's doing. Yeah. There's a big piece of paper with huge writing in capital letters on it. Make sure you mention healthcare or motors. Okay, still breaking down. I presume now that he's gone back to the podium, this is his rounding off speech. We will add to tariffs if nations don't abide by drug policy. If necessary, we'll investigate the drug companies. So he's putting pressure on the drug companies. Kugler Tariffs are likely to lead to slower growth, higher inflation. So you can't drop interest rates, like Powell has been saying. It's funny, isn't it? The Fed come out and say exactly what's going on. Tariffs are likely to lead to slower growth and higher inflation. Higher inflation leads to higher interest rates. Trump is saying nothing but drop interest rates. Powell, you're a clown. You're doing it too slow. You're far too late with everything. You need to drop them now. Someone comes out from the Fed and says, Trump, inflation's going up. I don't know if you know this, but that means we can't put the interest rates down. Ignored. Drop interest rates. Powell, you're an idiot. That's basically all you're getting. So you got this is who needs to be in charge. Someone that actually knows how to control the economy and grow the economy. Yeah, just not working, is it? Uncertainty around tariffs has already impacted the economy. So here we go. Progress on disinflation has slowed. Of course it has. US said to welcome EU idea to cooperate on economic security. The US has welcomed EU ideas to cooperate on mutual investments and economic challenges. EU and US negotiations kickstarted discussions last week, with a bloc submitting a menu of options that could form a bias for a formal trade talk. Options include investments in areas such as liquefied gas, artificial intelligence, as well as working together on strategic sectors like steel, cars, chips, aviation, pharmaceuticals, and critical raw materials. So basically everything. So basically Europe have put everything on the table, same as we had before. So should we just put it back to where we were before, because that's what we can do. That's basically, I think, what they're saying. Otherwise, we're going to drop the economic bomb. So he's taking questions now. So this is where we might get some movement if he's pressed on something. I thought the markets are frozen then. They just slowed. So still in short. Not really moving, is it though? US dollar weakening slightly. I was thinking about flying over to Ukraine for a meeting. There's a possibility if I think things will happen. Very good things happening on Iran. Iran is acting intelligently. Iran is being very reasonable. Many other deals are coming in. Same old stuff. Just regurgitating the same stuff at the minute. So nothing exciting. He will say buy stocks again. Yeah, well, he said that last week, didn't he? So I can't remember what day it was. I posted it as it came out. It was on 30th of April. No, that wasn't it. There it was. It was on the 8th. Where are we now? The 12th. Yeah, so it was last Thursday. He said to buy stocks again. 48 hours later. So that's when he said to buy the stocks. What time was that? 6:38 p.m. So it's down here. So that's where he said to buy the stocks. The market the next day pulled back, and obviously now he's done the tariffs. So that is the best signal you've got at the minute. Financial juice. If Trump says do something, do it. Short term, it's going to happen, isn't it? China tariffs will go up without a deal. Up. China tariffs won't go back up all the way to 145%. Okay. That's bullish. Great. Flip-flop. This will be big. Drug money is everywhere, in every market. Their fingers are everywhere, yeah. I don't know whether it's going to be bullish or bearish, though. This is the thing. It's Not a particularly easy to figure out sector. Trump juice, yeah. This is Trump juice now. Financial juice is gone. I think we'll have a deal. Market rallying a little bit, or rather pulling back a little bit. So first propulsion gap's gone on that move down, the break. So this is where I would expect to see the ads come in, either there or there. He is still talking though. He looks horrible. Can't come up with anything cleverer than that. Ask him if he's keeping it. What's that? Library, L-I-E. Right, we're pulling back. This is not looking amazing today, is it? Quite a strong pullback going on at the minute. So this is the rebuy potentially on the S&P going in here. Let's have a quick look at the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ's broken down. So we've got a bit of divergence going on here. And obviously on the Dow, it's the other way. So all three indices are out of sync on this move now. So this could go anywhere today. Really difficult to tell what's going on. Either going or not. So the risk is in, the reward's in. It'll either work or it won't. There's nothing we can do to control it. So I will let that one run. I'm not going to take any more positions today within the shorts. So if I stop out on this one now, that's it. Attempted the shorts, they haven't worked. If it does go long, it might be quite an aggressive long. So once this press conference is over, obviously the moves that we've had so far this morning obviously are very strong moves to the upside. So market reaction initially was bullish. If we are just pulling back now on market structure longs, this is obviously where we should be putting in our higher low, double bottom for a break to the upside. So there is potential for a long break. So obviously I've got the long breaks in place at the moment. If this stops out, that is the next move. If that works, great. We recoup some of the loss. If it doesn't, and it just flip-flops around for the day, there's nothing we can really do with it. So don't forget also we got gap fills on all indices, on the US indices today. The European indices have already done those gaps. So the DAX, the FTSE kind of just about got there. It was a little bit shy, but as I said, it doesn't always get to the exact gap. We've gone straight through it there on the DAX. So all the US indices have got gap ups. So potentially there is a gap fill play in place as well. If Trump's not managing to rally this market, that's the next stop within the next couple of days, isn't it? If we're not going to go bull. Also, remember, this is a critical week for the US indices in regards to pullbacks. So if we are bull now, this is our low, that's our high. We are going to be putting in a higher high. Yeah, so that's where we're going to run to. If we are going into a bear market, which a lot of people think is potentially going to happen, we're going to do some kind of double top or lower high price action up here, and then we're going to rally down from here. So this is quite a critical time, and I'm not surprised he's sort of timing this here because we're trying to get the new highs in, aren't we? So, this is a very big bear move. If you compare this to previous bear legs we've had, obviously it's way bigger. If you go back to COVID, look at the size of COVID. and then look at the size of this. Yeah. This is bigger than COVID. Okay. So after the COVID move, obviously we had that artificial ramping up, and then we went into a 1-year bear market. This has got the potential, I think, to just go straight into bear rather than do this. I mean, that was artificial. All the businesses were shut here. No one was making profits. This was artificial inflation, which is why we went into a bear market. This is potentially going to go into a bear market because they can't trade properly, businesses. So you are going to see everybody struggle in business. So if that is the case, you'll be looking at first leg down, pull back, second leg. In which case you're going to not break that high, and somewhere around here you want to be selling. So the long-term investors that believe this is a bear market will be starting to resell stocks. But obviously Trump now having removed that tariff potentially could rally the market back. But we need to wait and see what business thinks of this. So be interesting times. Stopped out on the Dow. Can't get any shorts on today. So no trades worked out today. So looking for a long break or nothing. So either this is just going to muck about here and we're not going to do anything. We're just going to be sitting around sideways for the day. If that's the case, it is the case. Nothing we can do about it. Can't make money in a range if you're breakout trading. If it does break out to the upside, obviously that's where the profit's going to come from today, but not really doing much. Not financial juice yet. I was going to just close the long pullbacks. Don't trust it. No. You watch this. Now it's just taken me out there. You guarantee that's coming down. Always the way. Good night, day shift. Good night, Franco. Yep. So I'm done for the day as well. I will monitor this, but I'll keep an eye on it. Break longs is all I'm looking for at the moment. Everything else is just flip-flopping around today. I can't bank anything today because, you know, we've put that move in and now the market's just stuck. So I will be taking a second short on the Swissy if we break the monthly highs. Pound US dollar, I've got first entry short. Aussie New Zealand, I'm looking for another entry above the monthly highs, but we'll see. This is potentially pullback continuation, either that or it's dead in the water, isn't it? And then Euro Pound is the only other thing I've got. So looking for a new long if we break ADR 125 today back into this propulsion move. Whoops, down here. So next entry is going in down there. That'll be third long, and then we're looking for a pullback on that. But apart from that, nothing else I'm getting into today. I'm just going to sit around and wait. Okay, so I'll be back on Wednesday morning, next stream for members. And then Wednesday afternoon, we'll be trading the US session and see how we go from there. But yeah, just be careful at the moment with anything you use from an indicator perspective, ADR, RSI, any indicator you're using. They're going to get thrown out on these large moves. So, you know, if something says it's extended, it's for a reason this time. So this could well just continue these moves. So if that's the case, just don't get overexposed. Keep your exposure nice and tight. Don't get too big into any individual instrument. All right, so have a good day. Anything you need, I will be in Discord or Telegram. Other than that, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good day.